So, hey girl, hey. Okay, that's usually how I introduce myself on Instagram. This is YouTube, but I still can say that, hey girl, hey. So today's going to be a more casual video because I really didn't have anything planned, but I did want to talk about something that I haven't really talked about in a while, and I thought it'd be fun too because it's Friday, and I like to do fun things on Friday, and I'm trying to figure out if I like this angle, and I don't think I do. Do I want to change it? Do we like that? We like that angle. I think I like that angle better. Do I? And back to our regular scheduled programming. Okay. So in this video, I want to talk about parallel realities because it's something that I find fascinating. And I just find it so interesting because, you know, science, I think I was watching a video today and they were talking about how science has almost like proven that parallel realities really exist. And I know that some people subscribe to parallel realities and some people don't. And I am one of them that do subscribe to parallel realities. And so I just kind of wanted to talk about it and my take on what parallel realities are. Now, I have done a video on creating your dream parallel reality, and I'll link that right here if you want to check that out. And to me, that is just your imagination, your vision. And so for me, tapping into your imagination and visualizing, that's you peering into a parallel reality, a different dimension that already exists right now. And so I personally believe that all creation is already created. And this is where this whole notion of everything is preordained comes from, because it's creation's already created. And so if you can see it in your mind's eye, if you can see it in your imagination, then that means it exists for you and it is there for you to experience. So it's a possibility for you. And that's kind of the first step in the 3-step to manifestation. I'll also link that video here that I did on the 3 steps to manifesting. And that's the first step, is visualizing and imagining, peering into that parallel reality, that different dimension that already exists. And it's really confirmation that if I can see it in my imagination, that means that I can experience it. Guaranteed that I can experience it if I align with that, that's the hard part, is aligning with it. And so parallel realities, right? I find it interesting that people that do subscribe to parallel realities might not subscribe to people being different in your reality, which is interesting to me because in these parallel realities, this is what is said, and if you can imagine it and see it, then that's what it is that there's different versions of you, right? So there's different versions of you. Now, that's one thing that, especially if you subscribe to parallel realities, that a lot of people are in agreement with. There's different versions of you. And so moving your consciousness through these parallel realities to align with the version of you that you wish to experience. However, there's different versions of you in these parallel realities. But could there be different versions of other people in these parallel realities? And I think this is where sometimes I feel like people, I don't know. To me, it makes sense that if there can be different versions of me in these parallel realities, then there can be different versions of other people in these different parallel realities. Now, with that being said, now we talked about if you can imagine it and visualize it, then that means that you're peering into that dimension, that you can experience it, that vision, you can step into that. So with that being said, if you can imagine that someone in your present now reality is different, they do different things, they have a different personality, then they could be different too. And so imagining that they are different and that they are doing different things, is that a possibility as well? Now, this is where I feel like there are not so much an agreement, but if you exist, different versions of you exist, couldn't different versions of other people exist? Now, I'm not saying that I have all the answers to the universe, because your girl don't. I don't know how all of this works. I know what resonates with me, what sounds logical, and logical really doesn't mean anything when it comes down to it, in my opinion. But I know I've proven some things in my own life, and I'm like, yeah, that could be true. If there's different versions of me that I am looking to manifest and step into, like multi-million-dollar Amber, uh, I ain't gonna tell you all my business, but different versions of Amber. So, could there be different versions of other people that are in your present now that you can manifest? So, I would love to know your thoughts. I mean, I have my suspicions and I kind of laid it out there for you guys. But when it comes to parallel realities, I think that, you know, it makes it, for me, it makes it easy to manifest. I'm trying to think, I'm trying to articulate this in a way, because I had like the way that my mind works is that I see things as visuals, right? So if they're like and when I don't subscribe to, if I'm not available for something, a situation, circumstance in my life that keeps showing up, I literally will turn, in my mind, I will turn my back to that and look towards this parallel reality that exists, where I am treated the way that I want to be treated. I have the things that I want to have, and this kind of thing. So, um, parallel realities, and thinking in those terms of parallel realities, it makes it easier for me to say, okay, this is what I want. Because when you're peering into that parallel reality, when you're using your imagination, it just makes it easy to look at that parallel reality as like, okay, I am stepping into this and I'm moving towards this. If that makes sense, it's so weird. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to have like a short discussion on parallel realities. I find it very fascinating. And when it comes to quantum physics and all that kind of stuff, and collapsing realities and all that kind of, it's just complicated. But I think the biggest thing to really know about parallel realities is that if you can see it in your mind's eye, if you can see it in your imagination, you're peering into a parallel reality. That's confirmation that it exists for you and that you can experience it. So we're not just talking about different environments, we're talking about ourselves, different versions of ourselves. And we're also like personally, we're also talking about relationships. Like, you know, they talk, Neville Goddard speaks about recreating a specific person. Is that possible? If you think about what parallel realities are, that kind of speaks to it. Like, if there's different versions of yourself, there can be different versions of that person as well. And so what you're doing when you're recreating a specific person is you're moving your consciousness into that parallel reality where that person exists. If that makes sense. I know this stuff can get complicated, but you're moving your consciousness to that parallel reality that person exists. If you're imagining, okay, this person is loving towards me, they treat me with respect, and you're imagining it, and you can see it in your mind's eye, you can see it in your imagination, that means it exists. So you are intentionally moving your consciousness to that parallel reality where that exists. So that's where recreating a specific person kind of comes into play when it comes to parallel realities. And so it's really interesting when you look at it that way, just kind of compartmentalizing everything in parallel realities when you kind of just think about parallel realities. And so when you think about parallel realities like that, it just makes it really easy to step into that version of yourself that you're trying to manifest. Step into where you're trying to live. Step into your dream home. So I like thinking about parallel realities in that way because it makes it where it logically makes sense in my head when I am visualizing, imagining, trying to manifest and choose an experience for myself. When I think about it in parallel reality form, it makes it so much easier. So I just wanted to have a little chit chat about parallel realities. I would love to know what your thoughts are on I have the hardest time saying it, if you can't tell in this whole video, but I would love to know your thoughts on parallel realities, what you think about parallel realities, and if you even believe in them. You're not going to hurt my feelings whatsoever. I mean, like I said, I don't know all the answers to the universe. I don't think any of us really do. We're all trying to figure this out ourselves to choose the experience that I mean, honestly, I feel like that's the name of the game, is how can you create an amazing life for yourself. That's the name of the game. And so just trying to figure out all this stuff is pretty interesting in my opinion. And so I would love to know your opinion. Leave your comments below. Anyways, I'm going to end the video here. I hope you guys are having an amazing Friday, and I would check you guys in the next video. Peace.